and love, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Chakra Tea Talk. I wanted to come on and make my very first episode about my all natural home birth and just take a look at what that experience was like for me and give a little insight and inspiration to any woman or any family that is considering having a home birth unmedicated, and just talk about the beauty of my experience and how positive and uh, just exciting it was for me. Um, so let me get right into it. One day I just woke up and I said, I'm ready to meet my baby. Like, it's time. Like, I'm ready. You know, I could remember being like, okay, like being mindful of different things and being like, no, I don't, we don't want the baby to come yet or whatever. But just something in my spirit was like, it's time. I'm ready. So he went off of my cue, and that evening, I started to see a little bloody show, which is your mucus plug. And I let my midwife and my doula know, and they reminded me that sometimes when you see your mucus plug, it does not necessarily mean that you'll be going into labor that day, but it could. But just to take it easy, like a lot of times when we think we see the beginning of labor, a lot of people get really excited and then they start going to overdrive, and then by the time they really get into labor, they're exhausted because they run around doing all of this stuff. So they just told me take it easy, get some rest, and then just see what plays out from there. So all that night I'm getting contractions, and my contractions basically felt like period cramps, like really mild period cramps. And I just remember waking up in the middle of the night, and I got into the bathtub, and I just let the water just run on me, and just ease, like I would do if I was on my period. Just let the water run on me and ease the sensations or the surges that I was feeling. And I did that for maybe like an hour or two, and then I just try to, listen to the advice that I was being told and get back into bed, and just see how, if it subsided, like I didn't know if they were Braxton Hicks, but in my spirit I'm like, yeah, it's time. Like I done seen the bloody show, and now I'm really getting contractions. I called this, we called this on. Um, Baby boy is ready and mama is ready. So that morning I'm like, yeah, it's time. So I let everybody know, because they never stopped. They just started getting a little more intense, and I just spent more time in the tub. Everybody started getting things together for me. I can remember I tried to go out and get like a smoothie and like do some running around, but my surges, quote unquote contractions, started becoming really intense to the point where I could not do the car. It was no driving around for me. Like, I was throwing up. I was like, no, take me back home, and I'ma just ride the wave. So I'm back in the house by myself, while everybody's, my family and my child's father is getting everything together, and I'm just in the tub. I spent a lot of time in warm water in the tub and just breathing. I learned a method from my childbirth educator, of just doing different sounds with my mouth to help open up my cervix more, and help assist with my labor. So I was doing a lot of ooh, but I was doing it. I know a lot of women are taught to um like, but that honestly, like, if I was to been taught that way, it would not have made sense to me, because intuitively that does not feel good to breathe like that while you're going through that experience. But I was doing what I was taught, and that was to just deep long moans with my throat and like really open it up. So I spent a lot of time doing that. I had my meditation music playing. My family finally got there. My child's father finished, running errands, and I'm just in the tub, just flowing. I tried to have some lemongrass in the bathroom with me, but it didn't work. When you're pregnant, you're very sensitive to smells, but while you're actually going through labor, you're going to be extremely sensitive, like times 10. So trying to diffuse lemongrass, it was just very irritating to me. I was like, get that out of here. Like, what in the world? Like, it was too strong. During the beginning of, really going through the process for me, I didn't feel any fear. I know that's a lot of people's questions, like, how do you feel, and were you afraid? And I didn't feel any fear. Never. I didn't call my midwife or my doula over until I was in active labor. And at that point, of course, I couldn't talk on the phone. But even while I was in active labor, never did it run through my mind that take me to a hospital. I can't like, the pain is excruciating, take me to a hospital right now. Like, no, that never ran through my mind, not even 1 second, like at all. Like, I'm very revolutionary. I knew I could do this. I knew my ancestors did this, and I'm like, we're going to do it. You get what I'm saying? And there were times, because my pregnancy was a little rocky, me not really having the best experience because of my relationship, but honestly, it was times where I felt a little fear, and I could remember my son coming through my dreams and like showing me my birth. And I'm like, my baby has just like really confirmed what I needed to see, what I needed to know, that everything is going to be all right. Like, I give thanks. I give thanks for you. And that really comforted me so much. Yeah, that's correct. That really comforted me so much, because it was times I was really like sad. I didn't know, is everything gonna work out? Pregnancy, I did not have the 100% the best experience. Like, I feel like part of my pregnancy experience was kind of raw for me, to be honest. But pain brings valuable wisdom and lessons. So that's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. But as far as my actual birthing experience was very, very beautiful. So once my midwife and my doula got there, I'm just still in the tub. So my doula actually encouraged me to get out of the tub, at one point in time. So I remember me going to my bed, laying on my bed, trying to be a little more active, even though the warm water and the tub was like, that was everything for me, because it really eased up. So when I was going through my surges, I could feel them, but barely. You get what I'm saying? Like, the warm water just does something for you. And while I was on my bed laying down, my doula would just come behind me and give me hip squeezes. She would rub on my back. She would give me coaching. Remind me when I was tensing up, and when I wasn't surrendering. At certain times I wasn't surrendering. I had to remember. I was really back and forth between my bed and the tub, like walking from my tub to my bathroom. I had a birthing ball, but I didn't, for some reason, it didn't really, in my mind, I didn't think to use it. It probably would have helped. I'm sure it would have helped the process, but I really didn't think to get on my birthing bar. I don't know. Like, when my body said move, I was up. You know, like I didn't stay laying down on my bed the whole time, and I didn't stay in the tub the whole time. I was really just trying to tune in to spirit and what my body was asking of me in each moment throughout the process. And I spent time on the toilet rocking my hips, and just allowing myself to just fall into it, you know. I can remember being on the tub and telling my doula, like, I feel so high. You know, I was not there, like, I was not, it was things going on, people coming to my house. I didn't know what the, you know, I couldn't tell you what was going on outside of where I was, what I was doing, you know, because I was just going. Like, I felt like if I don't know, I don't really do a lot of drugs that people do out here, but whatever drug take you to the moon, like that's the drug that I felt like I was on. You know, and I just remember leaning on my doula and telling her, like, I don't feel like I'm here. You know, like my head is just leaned on her knee, and she's comforting me. I mean, I had the best doula in the world, like, hands down, the best doula a woman could ask for. Like, I love her, give thanks for her, and she really showed up for me pro bono. She did not charge me, and I met that sister a few years back, and who would have known, you know, at a birth worker event, because I'm a fellow birth worker myself, and who would have known that she would have been my doula. That's how the Most High works, though. You get what I'm saying? And I'm so highly grateful for her. And I would, if I have another baby, I would definitely love for her to be my doula again, like 100%. Like 100%, like, she is amazing. Amazing. She never left me hanging. She was there. Every moan and groan, that sister was behind me, comforting me, coaching me, hitting, you know, different pressure points, and just really giving me the love and nurturance I need. I mean, I had her in the bathroom with me, and I had steamy water. That sister was in there burning up. I know she was burning up, sweating, but she was hanging in there with me and for me, just to make sure I didn't feel alone, and that she showed up for me. So my midwife asked me, you know, like, what do you need from me? My actual midwife was actually on vacation, so it was a backup midwife that showed up. And you know, just hold space. I just asked him to hold space. Initially, I was thinking about having my son free birth. But at the last minute, I got the advice that since it's my first baby and my first birth, I should actually have a midwife there with me. So I took the advice, okay, you know, and I told him I didn't want a lot of intervention, no cervical checks, no none of that. Not saying they were with that anyway. And so when the midwife came, she, you know, she napped, she checked on me, checked the baby's heartbeat, make sure everything was okay. And she took a nap in the nursery, and that's basically what I wanted her to do. You know, I wanted her to make sure everything was okay, but I got this, you know, and she respected that, but she still hold that space to listen out, to make sure that everything was okay, and to hold that space for me. So I give thanks for her as well. So again, so where my child's father came in, so where my child's father came in during the process, when my labor started slowing up a bit, my doula was like, you need him to come, like, he needs to, I mean, he came in and checked in every now and then. He would come lay with me and rub my back, but when he was like going, like, trying to ease his anxieties or whatever the case may be, and my labor was slowing up a bit and dragging on, she was like, yeah, you need him up here, because she knew that was what it was going to take for my baby boy to really start coming down. So I called him as I'm walking back towards my bed. Again, I'm back and forth towards from the bathroom to my bedroom, and I called him to just be there and to lay with me. And I started coaching him, you know, telling him to rub my breasts, you know, do different techniques that I learned, to be able to help my baby boy come down. And he did that with me. You know, it was times he had to jump up because I was throwing up just to make sure I didn't throw up on him. But as soon as he started like rubbing on me and massaging my breasts and different techniques, my baby started coming down. You know, I could feel him. I could feel more pressure in my pelvic area, and it started getting really, really dark and late, and I was still going through the motions, still breathing. And I remember at one point in time, I was like, you know, come on, baby, mama's tired now. You know, like, I'm being patient with you now, but it's safe. Like, come on, Juju. And mind you, I didn't even know what I was having. Intuitively I did, but I never got an official sonogram saying I was having a boy or a girl. And I'm like, mama's tired, Juju, come on. And when I said that baby came, that baby started coming down, and I can remember kneeling on my bed, and I was like, I'm ready to push. My mother actually decided she was going to take a bright flashlight down my private parts, and I'm like, get that away. You get what I'm saying? Because me, I am very holistic, and I don't agree with when at the hospital when you have babies come out with bright lights. So I'm like, if I don't want that, and I don't agree with that system, I'm not gonna agree with you putting a big flashlight on my baby's eyes as he's trying to enter the world. Like, no, get that away. In her mind, she was trying to see if I was dilated enough, and I remember, like, no, I don't need that, you know. For me, cervical checks are unnecessary. My body and my baby knows when it's time. My baby is not going to come all the way down if it's not space for him to come out. You get what I'm saying? As I'm working and I'm using different techniques to assist him and coming earth side, he's working. And together, my body and him knows what it's doing. You know, we don't really need those. But I know my mom is old school, but in my belief is that we don't need all that extra stuff. You get what I'm saying? It's unnecessary. A lot of times women feel violated, and I just wasn't with it. I knew my baby, it was pitch dark when he came. You know, we had the music playing. I don't believe I had any candles lit, or did I? I think I did have a candle lit, and I just remember, like, it's time to push. And my doula went and got my midwife, who was laying in my nursery, sleep or taking a nap, and she started assisting, just rubbing my perineum to make sure I didn't tear as I was trying to push, even though I did tear anyway. And the reason I didn't tear is because I didn't really listen when I was told to start really, like, giving myself perineum massages or letting my partner do it. I don't know why. I did everything else but that, but it really would have helped me, and I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have tore if I would have moved off of that advice and did those massages after 37 weeks. But she did rub me with olive oil, but that wasn't enough to stop me from tearing, even though it was a very superficial tear. So I did not tear as deep as some women do. So about after 3 or 4 pushes, my son came. I kind of felt like I pushed a little hard. I don't know. Like, when I think back, I'm like, did I put too much pressure into it? Should I breathe more and wait and try to wait in between? But I felt like once you get to that pushing phase, it's like you just ready. You just ready to get that baby out. And to meet, I was ready to meet my son. So he flapped out, and everybody want to know what the sex was. And I remember open up his legs and, what's the boy? And I just started crying. I just started bawling, and it was the most peaceful, beautiful experience of my life. My life has never been the same since having my baby boy at home. Just a little background about me. I am a doula myself, a birth worker. I've been in birth work for a few years now. I used to work at a hospital on the mother and baby floor, help with postpartum work, helping women and babies after delivery. And I just seen so much, in the ins and outs. I just seen so much in the ins and outs of the system. And I remember I used to tell my coworkers, like, I'm not having my baby here. It's just not sacred. It's too medicalized. It's too McDonaldized. Women are not honored. Women are not respected. Women are not cherished. Too many violations I'm witnessing. We gotta get back to our ancestral ways. We need to reclaim this space, this sacred space, so that our babies feel safe coming into this world. So that we feel empowered as women, so that we're not made to believe that something is wrong with us and we can't do what we've been doing since the beginning of time. You get what I'm saying? And I was hell bent on that. I actually started my original doula training while I was still working at the hospital. I remember I had a little baby with me. They give you those little fake babies. And I brought it to work, and it was crying, and I would let my coworker, hey, watch your niece, little fun things like that. I really love the experience of bonding with the babies and the mothers and asking them questions and educating them. Like, I was like the spook who sat by the door, like really, really being the one to empower women when they felt disempowered, when they were still in shock by the trauma that had just taken place, on the 8th floor in labor and delivery, and they hadn't really came to terms of what happened to them, and how their beautiful birthing experience had been robbed from them of what they wanted or what they expected. So my ancestors were with me in that entire night. I had beautiful sisters praying for me, lighting candles for me. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have a healthy, beautiful baby boy. And yes, clap on that, Bubba. And that it was everything that I thought it could be. It was everything that I wanted it to be. And I want to just remind women that home birth is actually safer than hospital births. Yeah, things could go wrong, and there could be emergencies that take place, but don't ever, especially somebody who ain't never had a home birth a day in their goddamn life, don't ever let nobody tell you what you cannot do. Don't ever let nobody tell you what's not safe. Don't ever let nobody tell you what your body is incapable of. Don't let nobody who ain't even never had the courage to experience what is natural tell you what is natural for you. Tell you what you can do with your body. Tell you what you and your baby can accomplish. I want to really put a lot of emphasis on that, because it's going to be, with the choice to have home birth, it's going to be a lot of naysayers. It's going to be a lot of people who going to think they know what they talking about. And I'm here to tell you, don't listen to them people. Don't listen to them. And actually, say thank you for your advice, but I don't want to hear it. Especially as a pregnant woman, I just feel like all the unsolicited advice is just, get it out of my face. You get what I'm saying? If you ain't never went through this experience, if you have not studied the ancient cultures of your ancestors, if you have not studied the cultures of indigenous people still doing this without a problem all over the world, then don't fix your lips to tell a pregnant woman that what she is deciding to do with her body is unsafe. Don't do it. Don't do it. Education is key. Knowledge is power. That's how you empower yourself. That's how you power yourself up. Call on your ancestral spirits. If you feel fear or you feel like, I don't know about this. Call on your spirits. Call on all your ancestral spirits who did this without a hospital, who did this without a midwife. All the ancestors known and unknown. I believe in you, and I know you can do it. I believe in you as I believed in myself, and I hope you enjoyed my birth story, because it was such a beautiful experience, and I'm just grateful, and I want to be the woman and doula and birth worker to help so many more women, not only in the hospital, but the women who want to transition from the hospital, and want the courage to have home birth, to educate them and help them have a healthy home birth as I did. I hope you enjoyed my very first chakra tea talk, and I have so many more discussions, so many more stories, and so much more knowledge and education and life and lifestyle and love to share with y'all. Peace and blessings.